Hello, I'm Sonja Thompson, Community Content Manager for SupplySide, but I'm here today as a volunteer for Women in Nutraceuticals. I love this task that I've been given, that is to interview different voices with different perspectives that belong to WIN partners. And since one of the founding partners is SupplySide, I'm thrilled to introduce my colleague Audarshia Townsend, who is the content director for SupplySide Food and Beverage Journal. Audarshia, thank you so much for taking the time to participate in the WIN Partner video series.
Thanks for having me, Sonia. Appreciate you asking.
Of course. So we got a bunch of questions. Let's go ahead and jump
Okay.
into the first one. How does your company, that's it, SupplySide Food and Beverage Journal, benefit from supporting gender equality initiatives, both in terms of culture and business outcomes?
I feel that we are really great at doing this. So one of the things that we did was we partnered with the Black Women in Food Initiative. It's actually the main company is Dine Diaspora. It's owned by two Black women who are originally from Ghana. And so their company, their initiative, Black Women in Food, it supports Black women in the food ecosystem, throughout the food ecosystem, whether they're chefs, restaurateurs, food journalists, or as you know, more important for our brand, that they are food and beverage developers, whether they're food
Mhm.
scientists or they own a brand or product. And that's so important, I believe, because of the fact that a lot of times Black women don't get the support that they need financially and marketing wise for their brands, and they don't know have a lot of the information that other people have. So for us, that is one of our most important initiatives.
So the second question I'd like to ask you is what specific initiatives or programs has your company implemented to foster gender diversity, and what results have you seen so far?
Okay, great question, Sonia. So at Supply Side Food and Beverage Journal, which is, of course, part of Supply Side, we make sure that we have as many women of color and Black women. We make sure that we have their expertise represented in the media brand. So, as far as the digital magazine, we use them as experts. We cover their brands. We have a cool little segment, video series called Bites of Brilliance, where we're focusing a lot on their products and they're talking about the development of their products. And then we try to have them in webinars and we have them on stage as well at SupplySide Global, our SupplySide Global show, as well as SupplySide New Jersey.
Excellent. Thanks, Adasha. A third question for you today is how do you engage and encourage male employees or colleagues within your organization to actively participate in gender diversity initiatives?
I actually take the initiative as far as sending them as many expert sources as possible. So whenever I see something that crosses my desk I think is interesting, that would be great for coverage, I send it to them. On my team, we do have a senior writer who is male, and he goes out of his way. This is great because he goes out of his way to be diverse as possible whenever he's working on stories or as far as his webinars. He actually gets excited when he has that great diversity, when he has a woman of color, or when he has a Black woman on one of his panels or webinars. He loves digging in and finding, because he's getting these different points of view. So I love that he finds that important.
Yes. Shout out to Scott Miller on this one.
Yes.
Okay, last question for you, Dasha. What
Okay.
advice would you give to other CEOs or leaders who want to make their organizations more diverse and inclusive?
My advice would be to just do it and look into your own team to find out who they know so they can reach out to their networks. So that's important to dig into your networks, because if you don't, you will have the same voice pretty much across the board. So the more diversity that you have within your organization, the more diverse voices you have, the more creativity, because you're going to be getting points of view that you probably
Absolutely.
never have seen before. So I think that's very important to make sure that you just have voices across the board, because I've seen some statistics that have actually said that the more the diverse the company, the better output, as well as the more creativity is coming out.
I absolutely 100% agree with that. So I want to thank you, Adasha, for all that you do to support gender equity and raise women up, give them a voice in the food and beverage industry through SupplySide Food and Beverage Journal.
Oh, and thank you, Sonja, so much for having me. And I appreciate you doing this initiative, speaking of initiatives, because I think it's very important for our community and beyond.
Absolutely. And a last thanks to SupplySide for your continued support of women in nutraceuticals. Bye for now.